All right, we're back here with Ronnie, doing our series here with a brand new student, and he's actively calling leads, making offers. I think what number offer you at right now? Number three or four?
Yeah, I've been doing four. Yeah,
Four.
four
Okay.
and giving
Awesome,
some
man.
follow up.
Yeah, so on average, I would say, new students probably takes 30 actual submitted offers to an owner to get one deal. So you're probably gotta get 26 more in, and then hopefully you get your first deal, right? But it could be sooner, it could be later. Just the averages are, 30 to 1. So you did four already, so just keep focused. I mean, I get to 26, and then today we're gonna go over well, first we're gonna go over how you feeling, man. How's it going? And any struggles, any what's going on in your mind,
Good, good. It's going great, and I just see that, of course, that is consistent. Consistency is the key, and you know, follow up when the people say, not right now, you know, later,
Yeah.
and when they don't wanna sell. All right, so we can do Airbnb. We can start from there. Maybe later they want to sell.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just consistently following up with leads, right? Like you can't get a hold of them and you're playing phone tag, so every day you're doing the follow up, right?
Right,
And that's what happens with most leads is it's always, I can't get a hold of them, follow up, follow up, follow up, and you're texting them, see when they're available. So good job, man. So hopefully like in the next, few weeks or maybe even a month or so from now, you'll have, your 30th offer and hopefully your first deal and your first deal closed. So that's our goal is to work from nothing, like I don't know anything, to close your first deal. And then once you do that, once you get your first deal closed, that's when like everything changes. Like, oh, this actually works, and all of a sudden you just go all in and now you're obsessed with it, right? So I think that happened for me where, my first deal, I think I made about 18 grand. And ever since then, I'm like, man, I'm like going all in on this no matter what.
right.
So we're gonna get started here. You do work full time as well. So how's that going? Is that a struggle, like getting in the time to make offers, to call people? Like how's that going as far as committing to a
What I
schedule?
can say, what I can say is divide the day. Divide the day in separate time for each stuff. Like of course that we're gonna have a lot of stuff to do, work. Family. What I can say is by you know day by day and hour by hour and a schedule time for everything. A schedule
Yeah,
time and separate time, consistent and organize. Organize the day. Organize is really important. Organize the day before. That's what I do. I try to organize my day before to do what I
yeah,
have to do and put a schedule on everything.
exactly. Yeah, you got to get a schedule and commit to it, and make sure all your family's aware of it and everybody, so you commit to it like a job, right? So that's the only way that I think any business you can be successful. If you could treat it like a hobby where you're gonna do it when you have time, then it's like, you're
Right.
not gonna be successful, right? So it's gotta be, treat it like a actual job. If I don't show up, I might get fired, right? So that's always tell everyone, like treat it like a job, and get an accountability partner, your wife, somebody hold you accountable to actually committing to your schedule, right? That you wrote down in the beginning. So we're gonna go over today about contacting leads. So we did go over how to get unlimited leads already, where to find them. You pick the market, you have all the leads, that you can contact. You know where to contact, who to contact. So we're gonna go over all the channels, and then we're gonna try and call some leads live, see if we can get anyone, and then we're also just gonna go through everything. So first place that we like is Craigslist. So Craigslist.com, go to your market. You can I'm in Chicago right now, but you can go to your market where you're picked and go to the for rent section. So it is a great area to start contacting leads. These are vacant properties. They are not they are a lot of them maybe they try to sell it, they couldn't sell it. A lot of them could be rent to owns, Airbnbs. They could potential Airbnbs, rent to owns, because look at they're already trying to rent it. So um you're just trying to convince them, hey, would you do a rent to own? Would you consider doing Airbnb? And you can even search by furnished properties. So one of the biggest hurdles for like if you want to focus on Airbnb like management is furnishing the property. So you can search furnished properties because you know the owners have to pay money to furnish it. So you can even search furnished properties on Craigslist if you're focused on like Airbnb management. But let's see if we can um and also Zillow, same thing. So go to Zillow, go to your market. So you picked Winter Haven, Florida, right? So we're in Winter Haven. We're searching for single family homes. We're searching for rent section. So you see there's 267 leads in Winter Haven, right? So these 267 leads, and these are not condos and townhomes. You can also select apartments and condos as well eventually, but I would start with maybe one list at a time. And these 267 leads are all should have get a message from you, potentially with an offer. Like everyone, so your goal is to take Facebook Marketplace, take Craigslist, take Zillow, take the for rent section, take the for sale by owner section, and every single lead in those three websites, those are the three main sites, should get a call from you, a text from you, an email from you saying, hey, we're investors looking to potentially buy your property or even if you're open to doing a rent to own. And you can also approach them with you know, if their property is furnished, if they're looking to do Airbnb. So here's a lead here. So Winter Haven, houses for rent. So this is a potential rent to own offer, even you know, even though it is for rent, we could still make the cash offer, we can still make all the offers. Um, and this one here, it's good, is that it's listed by the owner. So a lot of the properties will be listed by realtor or maybe a property manager. But if you get listed by owner, that's even better. And yes, you can still make an offer if there's an agent or property manager involved. You should still contact them to see if they are interested. It's good to network with other agents because one agent could maybe bring you 5 or 10 deals because they're always talking to sellers, making, you know, trying to list properties. So if you approach an agent, hey, I'm an investor, we're looking to buy properties, they could be, one agent could potentially be someone that sends you 10, 20 deals that you eventually close. Like we work with agents and property manager all the time. They send us deals because they know who we are and what we do. So you should be also contacting all the agents, all the property managers as well. So this property, we're gonna do this live. So this is unscripted. We're just gonna put the number. We're just gonna call the number. See if he's interested. So this is the actual owner of the property. So we're gonna see if he still has it available. Number one. Um, I can go into deal machine.
Hello?
Hi, I'm looking for Ryan.
Yeah, okay.
Hey Ryan, let's talk about your property on Osprey Point in Winter Haven. Is that still available?
Yes, sir. It is.
Awesome. I see it is for rent. Are you also interested in potentially selling the property or no?
No, I'm actually the owner's realtor and we're renting the property out.
Oh, you're a realtor. Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
So the owner wouldn't be open to like an offer on the house?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Okay. Okay, so would the owner be, I see he's looking to rent it. Would they be open to doing like a rent with option to buy or no?
It's possible. If you wanna shoot me over an email kind of with what you guys were thinking on how that would look like, I'll present it to them. But these aren't, big, real estate investors. It's a house that they used to live in. They moved out and they're keeping it for the rental income.
Yeah.
So, they don't have the, need in their life or the capital or anything. They don't have anywhere to put it if they were to sell. So I would say send it over. I'll have them take a look at it, but I highly doubt that they're gonna do anything, because when they first approached me, I mean, that was the first thing I told them to do was, let's take
Mhm.
advantage of this market, let's get it sold before things get worse.
Yeah.
But they're just not game for that at all. But yeah, if you want them to look at something, send it over and I'll provide it to them.
Yeah.
And kind of discuss with them, what my thoughts are on it.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there.
Because I used to have like a lot of like vacant rentals, and then I turned them into like rent to owns, and they're pretty much like
Yep.
self-managed where I didn't have to do much anymore. So
Yeah.
it was actually a lot better than just renting it because they took care of themselves,
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, no, I understand completely.
yeah,
So, yeah, I would be happy to, show them something. There's a ton of rental properties available in our market right now, so,
Yeah.
we're already prepared. It's gonna take a little bit longer than usual to find the right tenant, and, the quality of tenants has definitely gone down over the past few years.
Right.
So, yeah, I would say that, maybe, even though they told me they're, not really open to anything else, I don't think it'd be a
So-
bad idea to present them another option.
Yeah, so if you can ask them if they're open to a rent to own, and if they are, we can present the offer. We can
Okay.
potentially even meet at the property and take a look at it.
Okay.
So that would be great. And if you get any other deals, we're investors, we're buying properties. We also like to do rent to owns as well. So if you get any future
Okay.
deals, you can always send it our way. I can send
what
you
do you
a.
guys, what do you, in terms of, are you guys looking for things that you can purchase for, say 50 to 60% of after repair value? Or what is your,
Yeah.
typical?
So the cash
Okay.
offer, yeah, we work with a hedge fund. So the cash offer would be, the normal 70% ARV minus rehab. But rent to own, we
Okay.
could go a lot higher because it just depends, like the cash flow and the equity. If we see it there, if there's some spread there that we can potentially make something, we can go a lot higher than that formula, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Have you guys, had much luck lately? Cause I'm looking for properties myself, and there's just very few properties I can make sense of with what these, sellers want for them.
Yeah, the inventory is tight. You gotta make a lot more calls to find a deal. But yeah, we
Yeah.
still, I mean, we do most of our investing in Chicago. We just moved out here not too long ago, so
Oh, nice.
yeah, so we still have a lot of like closings going on in Chicago, but we want to branch out over here and start doing a lot. We actually just closed our first Airbnb last week that we're gonna list next week. So but
When you guys, when you bought that house, was it already set up as an Airbnb, or is it something that you guys are gonna turn into an Airbnb?
uh no, it wasn't set up as Airbnb. We're furnishing it now, and then we're gonna put it
Okay,
on.
got
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Okay, and the reason I asked is I manage quite a few Airbnbs in the area.
Mhm.
And I have clients that come to me, and they, the question for me is basically like, hey, does the fact that we have a successful Airbnb actually, affect our property value? And, my comment to them was, well, only if your buyer is somebody who's going to benefit from that, right?
Right.
So I was just wondering if you knew if there were players out there in this market that were willing to buy Airbnb properties based on some sort of return as opposed to just the comparable value of it.
Yeah, if it makes sense, like for example, you're asking 2,200 a month, and if we see that we could potentially make 3,000, 3,500, maybe that's a deal that we're willing to invest in. So it just depends on the deal, how much when we analyze it, because I used to have like 80 Airbnbs in Chicago when COVID hit, and
Yeah,
it was a disaster, but we're trying to
yeah,
build it back up. We still got quite a few Airbnbs in Chicago. We just did our first one here in Florida, but yeah, if the numbers make sense, we run it through. We just basically like look at Airbnb, look at the comps, and look at we use like softwares to get the estimated value, how much will come in per
yep,
year, and if the numbers make sense, yeah, we can pull the trigger on it. Yeah.
okay. Interesting. Well, let me get with these clients, kind of see how they feel about doing some kind of rent own option. And if they do kind of express even the slightest interest in it, we'll set up a time, to kind of maybe talk a little bit further with them, and go from there.
Yeah, yeah, and if you get any future deals, save our contact information. We can take a look at
Yeah.
it.
a really gut feeling, and I've been pretty pessimistic about this Central Florida market for a while. You know, everybody's pointing to the population growth and everything that we're having, but the
Yeah,
issue that I'm seeing is a lot of this population growth is is people that can't really afford the market where it's at, right? So they're having to go to
right.
these, mom and pop landlords and, rent these below market properties and whatnot. And there's not a lot of people here to absorb, the new construction luxury high end stuff. So I truly feel as though there's
Yeah,
going to be a buying opportunity in the not too distant future because in my market at least, like everyone and their mom decided to become a real estate entrepreneur during COVID.
right.
And there's people that bought houses at the tippy top of the market to turn them into an Airbnb, and
Yeah,
they're struggling to keep that place, 20-30% occupied, right?
yeah,
So it's just, there's some people that, they won't have to sell, but I think there's a lot of people that are kind of the market's going to force their hand. So
yeah,
I would definitely like to stay in touch with you because whether it's this deal or the next one, I know quite a few people in town, a lot of the, main, real estate investors, and I think a lot of people just got too trigger happy when interest rates
yeah.
are as low as they are. And a lot of people are coming to having to refinance, and it's not looking too great for this term. So, yeah, if you could just shoot me a text just with your name and number,
Yeah,
I'll reach out to my client, have this conversation with him, and I'll circle back around with you.
yeah, yeah. We like to stick to the, bread and butter, 3 bed, 2 bath, single family, like exactly like these properties here, because it's like the luxury market is the first one that gets hit when, recessions happen. But, when people
Absolutely.
lose their money, what happens? They go to the smaller houses that are more affordable. So
Yeah,
in my opinion, the
absolutely.
rents
Now,
will keep going up on these type of properties because of people are gonna move out of the luxury houses and go to the normal rental properties,
yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. Are you guys also shopping for multifamily as well, or are you focused on single?
Yeah, we can do multifamily. Yeah, we can do condos, townhomes. We typically, I mean, we do bigger apartment, but I mean, typically we stay like the residential 4 unit, the single family.
Okay, got it. Yeah, because I have a client of mine that has sunk a ton of money. He's on his second apartment complex. They're about 100 units apiece. But I have a feeling from behind the scenes that they're going to be looking for an out at some point. So I
Yeah,
will I'll keep you posted on that one. There's too many things that fall in place for that to work out. But anyways, let's focus on this one for now. See if we can come up with something there, and then if there's an opportunity to work together in the future, then great.
yeah, awesome, man. I'll wait for
All
your
right.
response. I'll text you my name and information, and
Yep.
then I'll follow up with you on this one. Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. Sounds good, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Bye bye.
Yep. Bye.
So that was a good call. So Ronnie, you have any questions on that? So we have a realtor. This sounds like a guy that could be a long-term relationship, like that's why I said like in the beginning, is like, hey, realtors are great. I've had realtors that I've closed 30, 40 deals with, and I just created that relationship with them. So the first time talking to this guy, it sounds like he could be a guy that brings a ton of deals to the table. So building relationships with realtors, property managers is very lucrative if you can build relationships with them, So what's good about
Right.
this guy is that he's gonna go ask the owner. So you notice I didn't bring up Airbnb or anything like that. So I like to focus on an offer. So I said, hey, do you guys want to take cash offer? He said no, they're not willing to sell it. So I went to the next offer, which is rent to own. That's the second best offer. So are they open to doing rent to own? So first we gotta see if the owner is open to the concept of rent to own, right? And then if he rejects our rent to own offers, so if he comes back and says, yeah, let's do rent to own, they want an offer on it, then we're gonna analyze it, make the rent to own offers. Now, if they reject that, they say they don't want to do rent to own, we're gonna go into, hey, we do Airbnb management where we help landlords potentially double their rental income. Is the owner open to that, right? And he's a realtor, so I'm not going to bring up the listing offer, so because he can list it for them. So I'm going to completely skip that offer. So you saw the progress there. I started with, are they open to a cash offer? He said no. Then I went to rent to own. He said potentially. So I'm going to follow up with this guy the thing to do is like you follow up with this guy every day until you get an answer if they want to do rent to own. And once they say yes, we're gonna come up with the offer and submit it, right?
Nice, nice. What's amazing? What's amazing that we can do this on live and I can listen to you how you do, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. That
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah, so that was just the first lead. I mean, like we have 267 single families that we can call today, right? So there's realtors, there's property managers, there's it's like he was the owner, but he's not. But this guy sounds like he's in the business, he's doing Airbnb, so he can be a guy where maybe sends me 10 deals in the next, few years where we close together. So it's
Right,
yeah, it's important. Like you gotta think this business is more about relationships, right? Like the the main thing is like, man, create relationships, build rapport, get people to like you, trust you, and then once you get to that point, they're gonna be sending you deals, especially realtors. And then like I said, I've had realtors that I've closed 40 deals with, 30 deals with that I'm still closing deals with today, right? So it's like create those relationships and build that rapport like I did with this guy here. And hopefully he's gonna bring a consistent deal flow or like, hey, he's gonna be texting me all the time. Say, hey Russell, I got another deal. Take a look at it, right? So see if you're interested, right? So that's and then that's where you start building the brand, right? Like you wake up and you got
right,
like 10 realtors you talk to and they're all sending you deals all the time in your inbox. So you wake up and you got like 20 emails to look at 20 different deals. And now you're not chasing those deals, cold calling. You have so many leads coming in your inbox because of what you did today, right? So that's
right.
that's that's like the end goal is like, man,
I have a question.
hmm? Go
I
ahead.
have a question about the catch offer. So we pretty much just do like a wholesale catch offer, because he asked you about the system or percent that we using. He asking you say that we usually use 70, with the rehab and all the stuff.
Yeah.
So we just do this kind of catch
Yeah,
offers, right?
typically, like all the private money lenders and lenders out there that lend to investors, they all use the same formula. They take after rehab value, what it's worth after it's fixed up, 70% of that minus rehab costs. The highest they'll go is maybe 75, but that's the typical formula that all hard money lenders, private money lenders use for real estate investing. So so yeah, when we present the cash offer, we tell them, hey, we're investors, we're trying to make a profit. So this is our formula. This is, and this is how all the lenders fund deals. But we need to be at this number to make a profit, right? So you should explain, and explain that to the owners when you're talking to them. Like, we're investing the money. We have to put up all the risks. We have to pay all the taxes, the holding costs. So it's like we have to have some sort of profit there for us, right? So
Sure,
anytime anytime you're negotiating with a homeowner, I actually explain the formula to them and I show them the comps. I say, hey, Mr. Seller, are you at your computer now? Okay, let's go over this comp right here, this comp here. And I show them the comps, I show them the formula so that everything is transparent. Like we just show them exactly like how we, buy property.
sure.
Okay. So uh yeah, this is what you want to do. Like, eventually when you're doing this consistently every day and you get one guy like this, eventually this is why I always say stay to one market. Don't jump around to, you're in Winter Haven right now. So stick to Winter Haven, max it out until you actually contact every single for rent, for sale by owner on these sites and all the leads in Deal Machine. And then you brand yourself as like the go-to guy in the area. And then once you've contacted all the leads in the area, then move to, the suburb over, like, Auburndale or Lakeland or, that's when you move over to the next suburb. Doing it that way, you're never going to run out of leads to call. You're always going to have a ton of leads that you can call. And eventually you're going to brand yourself where you just wake up and I got 20 deals to look at. I don't even have to cold call these people anymore or text them anymore. It's just because I branded myself as the go-to person in the area, right? Does that make sense?
Sure, sure.
And it takes time, man. You got like, like you start now, but 6 months from now, that's maybe everyone starts knowing who you are because 3 months from now, you know, it does take time to brand yourself, because in the beginning it sucks because no one knows you. You have to cold call, you have to text everybody, but eventually 6 months later, you contacted 1,000 leads, made hundreds and hundreds of offers. All of a sudden, you just get deal after deal after deal in your inbox, and you're not chasing leads anymore. They're just coming to you, right?
Right.
And then
Sure.
that's where it gets easy. Like, I wake up, I have 30 deals to look at. I didn't have to go chase them. So, a realtor sent them to me, or a property manager or an owner sent them to me. So it's just like consistent deal flow that you can have overnight, right? So let's go to the next deal. So there's another owner. So hopefully it's an owner this time. You know what? Do you want me to let's say that let's go to this deal that we actually talked to him. Um, we can come up with the offer. So let's say that he comes back and says, yes, I want a rent to own offer. So we're just gonna plug this lead into the CRM. And we know this is a realtor, so we're gonna note that this is how are you feeling about using the CRM and coming up with the offers right now? You still need a lot of practice, or
Yeah, that's good. That's great.
how are you feeling?
I was a little bit challenging on the numbers, like a comparison, compare, to compare and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
little by little, still learning.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna plug it in really fast. So what you could do, if you get really good with the CRM, you could while you're on the phone with the guy or the owner, you can actually try to come up with the offer on the same call, so you don't have to play phone tag with them, right? So you see, and I did pull up the property while I was on the phone because I wanted to make sure he owned the property. So obviously he didn't own it. This guy, Daniel Wando, owns the property. You see that? And we know what Daniel Wando, he doesn't have a mortgage, so he owns it free and clear. He bought it cash. He's owned it for since 2005. So let's just come up with the offer real quick. Let's say he comes back and says, I want to offer a rent to own. He obviously doesn't want a cash offer, so we're gonna skip that, right? So what you do is you enter the main thing you want to enter is the square footage. There's no basements in Florida, so we leave that blank. What's good about like for sale by owner or for rent is that there's already pictures, right? So I don't gotta go get pictures and figure out the condition. So there's already pictures of this property. So obviously it's in great shape. It's just dated. Like you probably need to update the kitchens, baths, uh maybe paint the house, maybe update the flooring. The flooring looks pretty old. So it's probably just a cosmetic. I would say this is a cosmetic rehab, right? So square footage, rehab required. And the next thing, of course, is the comps. And redfin.com is the best way to get comps. I would say you're probably gonna get 95% accuracy with Redfin. There's other there in Deal Machine there is a way to do comps really fast, but it's not accurate. And same thing with all the other websites like PropWire and PropStream. They all claim that you can do comps in seconds, but it's really not even. It's like 70% accuracy, not. So when we're making an offer, we want to make sure we have the correct offer, right? You don't want to get 70%, 30% off, right? You want to try to get the correct offer. So you simply go into this deal. We go to nearby homes for sale. So we take the property on redfin.com, we enter the address. A profile like this should pull up. You click this map here. You click nearby homes for sale. And then we're gonna go to, this is a single family home with 1635 square feet. So we have to look for solds in the last 3 to 6 months. Similar type of home, so single family, and similar square footage. So we changed the square footage to about 10% plus. So that would probably be around 1660, 1760, so probably be around like 1820, 1830. So we're gonna look at everything under 1,900 square feet and under and see, it'll probably be 18, yeah, so if we just did that really quick, the math. 1,600 times 0.1, that's 10% plus 1,660, so you're looking at 1826. So I did 1,900 and under. You see, there's already 18 properties here, and you sort them from high to low. So we're looking for the highest sold properties. So this is the same thing an appraiser would do. A professional appraiser would do look for properties that are similar size, sold recently, sold like within the same area, within as close as possible to the area. And what's good is that there's already 18 homes here. So if there's only like a few houses, like one or two, I would probably zoom out once. And that's like about a half a mile. And we zoom out twice, it's about a little bit over a mile. So appraisers would go out to a mile, but if you have at least, I would say 10 houses at least, or close to 10, I would just stop. I wouldn't zoom out more, right? But here we can just use these comps here, 360, 311, 305. And things you gotta look out for in Florida are, I think I talked about this before with you, is pools and year built, right? Like this one sold for higher than everybody, had a pool, right? So that's probably the reason it sold for higher than everyone. Because pools today can cost anywhere from 50 to like 100 grand, and everyone in Florida wants a pool because it's, so hot out. So here's another one. So let's go through this. So 311, 305, and 300. So our property was
I'm sorry, what you say about the pool that is higher? How much
yeah,
higher you say?
to build a pool, it will cost maybe 50 to like 100 grand.
Right.
And pools, property with pools sell for a lot higher than properties without a pool in Florida. In Chicago, that
So
doesn't.
it's taking more value, it's having more equity pretty much.
Yeah, in Chicago, that doesn't matter. So you gotta figure out the market that you're in, make sure that, the reason why pools are so popular is because it's so hot, right, out here. In Chicago, if you have a pool, no one cares, right? Because half the
Right.
year, night like
So it's
night
no matter, pretty much like in Chicago, it's not gonna be higher price, right? It's not gonna be higher price with the pool.
exactly, right,
But
exactly.
right here, yes, all right.
So other thing to look out for is year built. There's tons of new construction in Florida, so we got to make sure they're similar year built. So this is 2005. The first comp here built in 2006. So I can use this one. Second comp here built in 2006, so I can use that one. And then third comp here at 300, similar size, similar everything, 1982. So I can use that one. So these three, I wouldn't use the 360 because there's a pool, right? It costs a lot of money to build a pool now in Florida. So I would use these three, 311, 305, 300. So we're gonna go into CRM, 311, 305, 300. And then we put our wholesale fee, what we want to make, and then market rent. So we're just assuming these guys are open to the rent to own offer. So we will go to Zillow rental calculator. You can bookmark this website web page, and you just enter the address to get the market rent. So we're at about 2,000. So he's asking 2,200. So he's a little high for the market. So he is asking a little bit higher than normal. So let's go 2,132 market rent. And then the next thing we look at is so this is a rent to own offer. So we're not making the wholesale offer. So this is a rent with option to buy offer. So we're gonna, we're not even making that cash offer here. Okay. But one thing I do like to do, even you're doing a rent to own offer, is just look at everything active on the market. See, like, if I'm an investor, how much, if I went into this market, like what can I buy the cheapest, right? That is similar to my property. So I change it to active, I change it to low to high. I'm looking at the lowest sold. And I do take off square footage just in case I see something bigger that's selling cheaper. And then you guys can see if I like to go out maybe like a mile. So these properties are a lot smaller. My property is 1635. This is 235. This is 1560. So the cheapest one available is 265, right? Those two. So if I look at my cash offer, if I'm at 171 and try to sell for 181, I'm definitely the cheapest deal in the market. So I can come up on my offer to 75 because of what I see in the market, right? Like I see that if you get this deal at 186 and sell for 196, I'm still the cheapest deal in the market. Like there's nothing cheaper than me. And doing that is going to increase my purchase price on the rent to own offers, and it's gonna increase my offer. So I have more wiggle room to negotiate with the owner, right? So the next step here is I'm gonna save this. So I got the offer ready. So when this guy calls me back, right? He calls me back, I have the rent to own offer ready for him, right? Um, so I go to email, I go to this email template here, offers, letter of intent. And then I have the offers ready, right? So I have, of course, they don't want the cash offer. They don't want to sell the house. So the option listing, and he's a realtor. So anytime there's a realtor involved, you don't make a listing offer because he can list it for them. So we have the rent to own offer. This is what we're going to lead with. This is the offer we're going to lead with them. So you see the 226, the market rent. So this most likely will not work. They want 2,200 a month. We're going to offer 1,524. But we're going to present it anyway. Like if you never make an offer because you're afraid because your offer is too low, guess what? You're never going to get a deal under contract that's a good deal because every deal that we get under contract is way lower than what they're asking. They wanted 50 grand more. We offered less. They wanted 500 more a month in rent. We offered 500 less. Every deal is created from you making the offer, right? Like don't ever be afraid. Don't ever be afraid. Like the owner wants 200 and your offer is 130 or 150. Don't ever be afraid to make that offer because you're the one creating that offer, right? Like there's no deal. Like usually when you look at a deal, usually it's like it doesn't look like a deal. You make the deal from your offer, from by making the offer, okay? And of course, let's say that they wanted less, don't ever offer more, right? Like let's say that his purchase price was 200 and you offered 226. You always want to don't offer more than they're asking, of course, right? So that's another thing to look at. So this offer is ready for the guy. So hopefully he comes back to us and says, "Hey, I want an offer the owner wants to do a rent to own offer." So we can present this to the realtor and they can make the offer to the owner, and then boom, we can see if this works. And if that doesn't work, this is the offer where we stay in the middle. So um right here is the full retail numbers. So full retail, this property is worth 272, market rent is 2032. So if I get this at 226, I'm walking into 50 grand of equity, right? Like this is a no-brainer deal, right? Even if like let's say that he wants full market rent at 2,200, if he agrees to the 226, I'm taking this deal all day because I can just close on it, rent to own, and I can just resell it for 250, 260, 270, and try to sell it right away and collect my profit, right? So if he agrees to, close to the rent, close to the price, this is a good deal to stay in the middle here, okay? And then this one here is full market rent, full market price. You're just assigning it for a down payment. So if the owner rejects this offer here, the 226 with 1524 per month, if he rejects it, we go, hey, Mr. Seller, I understand you want, your 272, you want your 2,000 a month in rent. I can't do that because there's no profit for me. I'm an investor, but I do have clients that are potentially that will do this deal that are, they can't get a mortgage now, but they do have but they do are looking for rent to own. And what you're doing is you're trying to get the down payment to zero or as low as possible. So let's say he agrees, hey, yeah, you can find a buyer for me. I agree to 5,000 down. I'm gonna go market this property for 15,000 down to create that spread. So if he agrees to that one, this is an assignment. You're just assigning it to another person, and you're walking away from the deal. Now this one, the sandwich rent to own, is like you're actually staying in the middle of it. You're the buyer. You're the one going to stay in the middle of it. Either furnish it, Airbnb it. You can rent to own it to someone else at the higher number. So a sandwich rent to own would be I would rent this property for these numbers, right? So I got it at 226. I rent to own it to 272 to another person. And same thing with the rent. So you would create the cash flow and create the equity from if you were to rent to own it to someone else, you would sell it at the higher numbers, right? And the Airbnb offer. So if he rejects these offers, if he comes back, says he wants rent to own offer, they reject the rent to own offers. That's when we're gonna say, hey, Mr. Seller, has your client ever considered Airbnb in the property? And if he's open to that, that's when we'll go into analyzing the deal and see how much he could potentially make. And we're honest. We just tell him like, hey, if the property doesn't look like it will make money on Airbnb, we'll just tell him like, hey, it doesn't look like you'll make that much on it. And we'll just show him the numbers. And if he's open to it, we'll present that Airbnb offer. But I don't analyze the Airbnb, analyze the numbers until I actually get an owner that says, yes, I want to see how much I can make, right? Like it's kind of a waste of time to analyze it, come up with the numbers without getting actual yes, right? So you have any questions, Ronnie?
No, I'm clear.
You clear? So that all makes sense, right?
Right, yeah, it all makes sense.
Okay. Awesome, man. So what we're gonna do is I know you gotta get back to work. We're gonna just do
Thank
maybe
you.
a few cold call. We'll just do next training. We're gonna do another one where we're just gonna cold call leads live, get people on the phone, and maybe we'll do it with Deal Machine or Craigslist, other websites as well. Okay,
Great.
so you can
All
see
right,
how
thank you, thank you.
you can see how it's done. Like so, you're just copying what I'm doing, right?
Perfect.
All right, brother. Any questions or anything?
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah, all is clear. All is clear, brother. Yeah, thank you so much. It makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So potentially we got a deal on this call. So hopefully he comes back and then we present the offers and see what happens, right?
Thank you. Sure.
All right, brother. And let me know if you need anything. So once you get a deal once you get an owner that wants an offer, you can just send us an email. We can analyze it for you. And then as well, we want you to learn the CRM yourself, come up with the offers yourself eventually, so you know what you're doing, right?
Thank you so much. Of course.
All right, brother. We'll do another one shortly. So hopefully this helps you out, okay?
Perfect. Have a great day.
All right, brother. God bless you, man.